Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another installment of Fast Break here, live for iSports Radio, your direct feed for all sports, and you're welcome to join us. On tonight's show, we discuss the second round of the NBA playoffs that kicked off with Denver and Minnesota, with Minnesota coming on top of Game 1 yesterday. The young Wolves, led by Ant-Man, got enough to push themselves ahead of the defending champs. Or the defending champs got another trick up their sleeve. Plus, with the Lakers' elimination comes what happens next and what happened next if they fire Darvin Ham. We'll discuss Ham's firing and what should the Lakers look to next. Plus, the Milwaukee Bucks are out again in the first round. We'll discuss their exit and then the post-game and someone in the game by Pat Bev and his antics. The Cavs and Magic with the 7 games, with the Cleveland Cavaliers coming out on top. What does the future hold for the Cavs in the second round against Boston? And what should the young Orlando Magic do after being ousted in the playoffs? We'll discuss this and much more here for Fast Break. Live on speaker for iSports Radio. And let's get this show started. And join us as you shout tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us. How you listen to us, how you get your show. Thank y'all for tuning in with us tonight. Lots to talk about here in the world of basketball, especially in the NBA. WNBA's slowly kicking off, or preseason play and stuff like that. You had Clayton Clark, Indiana Fever play the other night against Dallas, and that game got streamed on WNBA League Pass, but then the other games didn't get streamed as well, in which we'll discuss that here if we get time. But D-Lock, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I wish my Magic could close out the series. Very close series between them and the Cavs. But not bad. We talked about my team is a young team, so I think we'll be back. So it's been a good Sunday so far.
Pretty good. I know you're disappointed with your Magic losing, and watching that game is just like, okay, they had a strong first half, up by 10, at halftime. Pancaro going off 24 points. And then you look at the other side for Cleveland. Mitchell was the only one kind of doing anything worth a damn, besides LeVert off the bench. And, I put out the tweet on our page, said, it'd be nice that some of the Cleveland starters, will wake the hell up. And then, lo and behold, everybody kind of woke the hell up. I'll let you have the floor here. How do you summarize, the Magic playoff run and their season, and what should the listeners look forward to for the future for this franchise?
Well, for me, I feel like the biggest thing with this franchise, Orlando Magic, is stability. You got the young pieces in Wagner and Bancaro. I would add Jalen Suggs. Those are the ones that you build around. I just feel like to make that big move, you even have to consider signing a big piece. But it doesn't matter who you grab on the offensive defensive side. If they are not ready to play at their best, then it doesn't matter. But I feel like the core that Orlando have, now you can go on a free agency and say, hey, you should come to Orlando because we just have this, that, and third. They were not able to do that much recently in the past.
And I think we kind of lost D-Lock there. Hang on just a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Kind of going in and out, man. I got a lot of rain going on over here up in Pittsburgh right now. This weather is very inconsistent.
Yeah, we got some strong winds here in Alabama, so I put a notice out so just in case, things go wild, just letting y'all know. So, but go ahead.
No, I just like I said, I feel like the Magic have the core. It is now, you can add one or two pieces to make that move. Also now getting the experience as a coach, as a franchise. Now you have to progress moving forward. Bat Carroll is the key piece to build around along with Jalen Suggs. And if you can do that, I think this could be a really good team. Moving forward, they can make the next round possibly even farther. So for me, bothered about it at first, but now see what the Magic are doing, and then now let's try to kind of keep this going. Usually, I know what I see in the past is they would progressively play well, and they have a drive, not running good, and it will carry on to the next competition. This team doesn't need this. Next time when they come back around, uh, next season, uses the momentum, motivation, knowing that you are one of the better teams in the East. Hopefully, you can go farther next year.
Yeah, I look at y'all squad. Excuse me. I look at y'all squad. A lot of potential, like you alluded to. This with Mosley, I think he got to figure some things out. One point I texted you during the game, like, why does Mosley got Jonathan Isaac on Donovan Mitchell? You got a 7-footer on 6'2", 6'3" guard, and Isaac moved pretty good for his size, and for a guy that had multiple lower leg injuries, moved pretty good. But you don't want that matchup on a consistent basis like that. It'll wear down your big men like that. So the lineup of Isaac, Wendell Carter, Joe Ingles, Carroll, and I think Cole Anthony. It was just like a bad mix out there. And I felt like that lineup that really didn't do nothing at the beginning of the fourth quarter kind of just made things bad for y'all down the stretch. It didn't help y'all. Y'all kind of down. Cleveland had momentum, and that and sometimes lineups can kind of kill your lineup. Could kill your momentum, whatever, or try to come back. And it kind of, for me, seeing that lineup up there is like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of lineup is that you're trying to push out there? It's like, it don't make no sense. Like, we talked before off the show. That type of lineup you'll see with all that big height, minus Cole Anthony. You do that crap in October or November when you're trying to figure stuff out. Or maybe run in practice, see how it works and stuff like that. But not in no game 7 of the NBA playoffs in the first week of May. You don't do that type of crap. So, for your Orlando Magic, long Pangaro grows, Wildner grows. Gotta get Jet Howard and Anthony back more into the system next year. And maybe find like a shooter or so. I think y'all be just fine. From my eyes perspective, I think y'all be just fine because, we don't know what's going to happen in Philly. Charlotte, Chicago, Washington, they below and all that stuff. Atlanta, they're a mixed bag because they might be trading one of their point guards. So for you Orlando Magic, man, I think things are on the up and up, in my humble opinion. But I'll let you have the last word. And I think, let's see. Stuff is going. Let's see. Hang on just a second, ladies and gentlemen. I think I lost them again. Hang on just a second. All right. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'll bring it back on in just a second. But I'll bring this last part here. It's just I guess they haven't rained stuff in Pittsburgh, so they are having issues down here in Alabama. Not yet per se, but like I said, we'll see how things go with the weather in both our cities. But I will say this about the Magic: a lot of potential, a lot of growth for this team. It's got to just kind of keep things moving. For the Cleveland side of things, I think you got to look at it like this. Our girl Jen, who does our Cleveland show here on iSports Radio, she kind of been stopped on the Cape. If they lose a series, that they fire Bickerstaff. And I said to her, like, we'll see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Different situation. I understand the kind of expectation, adding Donovan Mitchell and stuff like that. But kind of, let's wait. Now, could be somebody out there better? Sure. But sometimes you got to be patient and wait to see how things go. And I'm trying to bring D-Lock back on. But
Yes, sir.
All right, we're good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll just finish up my last spot by Cleveland. And Jen, shout out to the chat. Shout out to It's Drewski in the chat. I saw the video. I saw the video that you were part of in the crowd the other night. Y'all were like geeked outside. And then Miss Jen, and in the chat, she does our Cleveland show. But, to Jen's point about Bickerstaff, they made the second round. They were going up against Boston, the better team in the league. I think D-Lock, I look at the second round matchup between Cleveland and Boston. I think a couple things Cleveland's got to take advantage of. One, they got to take advantage of Kristaps Porzingis being out. And they got to win a road game in Boston. You got to get at least one to kind of help your odds to win that series. If they could do one of those things, those two things, I think they'd be okay. I don't know if they're going to win the series, and that only counts if Jared Allen comes and plays. If Jared Allen come ready to play game one, you can take advantage of that height advantage and maybe dominate down low against Cleveland. But if Allen's not back, you kind of even kill with the Celtics in terms of lineup and stuff like that. What you think about that? Yeah. Okay, that's not working. So hang on just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just do this. But yeah, Jen saying in the chat that need Allen back. The Cavs played pretty well against the Celtics, so we'll see. Yeah, I think for the Cavs, excuse me. If you get Allen back for that game one, and that game would be crucial up in Boston, I think if you can get him back, use that size to the advantage, outwork Al Horford, because you got these two guys, Mobley and Allen, still in their 20s. Horford's about my age, about 36, 37. So if you can take advantage of that, make him work, and make them go deep into their bench, which they don't really like doing, I think that'd be great for Cleveland. Let's see. And appointment enough away. I guess the weather in Pittsburgh must be really bad because we're going in and out.
Please leave your.
All right, I think the weather is pretty bad in Pittsburgh right now. I finished my thoughts up in this for move forward. Like Jen said, Mobley really stepped up defensively. I'm proud of him. Yeah, that second half, they came out and played pretty strong. Can't take that away from Cleveland. They came out that second half against Orlando and played pretty damn strong. So, you know, can Bickerstaff kind of motivate this group, you know, to kind of stay like this all the way? That's going to be the real challenge. Because, you know, kind of like going back to last year playing against New York, they kind of had their wheel broken in a sense against the Knicks. Can Bickerstaff kind of, you know, correct the mistakes of last year's past and kind of had his team ready and motivated to go against the Celtics? There's a good shot they can win this. You know, they got the wing guys to kind of, you know, play against to kind of counter Tatum and Brown on the wing. And I think, you know, for Darius Garland, you know, can you step up? You know, can you not let Drew Holiday wreak havoc on you or Derek Wright wreak havoc on you? So that'll be a little good test in that backcourt for Mitchell and Garland. You know, can they not let Derek White and Drew Holiday wreak havoc for them? That's a good thing to watch out in this key thing to watch out in this series. Moving forward, you had yesterday's game of the Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves. Kind of one of the more anticipated matchups in the second round, with the Timberwolves coming out on top, 106-99 against the Denver Nuggets. If Anthony Edwards still continues high scoring in the playoffs, 43 points for him. You know, 60 points off the bench from Niles Reed, 20 points for Karl-Anthony Towns, 14 points for Mike Conley, and 10 assists for him. For the Denver side of things, 32 points for Nikola Jokic, 20 points for Michael Porter Jr., and then Jamal Murray with 17 points. 6 points for him for KCP. Gordon only had 9 points. So, but Reggie Jackson kind of got things hot and stuff like that in the beginning of the game, but that kind of cooled down very quickly. What we talked last week, and we bring up this week as well, is kind of like the rise of Anthony Edwards. Like this guy has superstar potential in him that he could be one of the faces in this league, which kind of really desperately needs some fresh faces up top. Like I know we got LeBron still hanging around. I know we got KD still hanging around. I know we got Steph still hanging around. You know, Kyrie still hanging around in a sense. Who else I could throw out there? Jimmy Butler. You know, guys of that nature. You know, DeMar DeRozan. But you get my point. But Anthony Edwards, this young man is a beast on the court. And I think, this team is, has benefited from his determination. And, his play from the Phoenix series that flowed into game 1 against the Nuggets. I don't know how Denver's going to slow that down. And I think this is where you kind of maybe miss a Bruce Brown if you're the Denver Nuggets. To kind of help, somebody else to throw out there and kind of slow him down defensively. But, man, this dude's on determination to put his stuff out there on the map. Yeah, I think one thing Denver's got to really kind of counteract in the second game, besides Edwards, how do you handle the height between Towns and Gobert? Can that really affect things? I don't know. Jokic had 32 points, almost had a triple-double. But he's 2 for 9 shooting, 11 for 25 for 2 for 9 for 3-point land, 11 for 25 from the field. So, they affect this game a little bit. Eric Gordon didn't have a strongest game. And to the chat, Marcus Lowe's great put up in the chat that Murray had a bad game and won't happen and won't continue. Probably won't. Probably won't. But I think one thing the Timberwolves will do better than what the Lakers would is kind of like will have better defenders on him. Jamie Downs is proven himself to be one of the better defensive players in the league. And I think, late game situations, I think he probably put the clamps down on Jamal Murray. Maybe, maybe not. But, Mark also say, I believe the Nuggets will win the next 4 games. I don't see that. If they do, hey, the testament to them to kind of adjust on a fly like this. But I don't see the Nuggets winning 4 straight like this. My humble opinion. I know last year was different, all that type of stuff, but I just don't see that happening. So this is gonna be a fun series to keep up with, maybe for Anthony Edwards. He shut down the Phoenix Suns with his play, most of it. I think Bradley Beal contributed on the other side, but I think Edwards can be that dude to kind of carry a team to the Western Conference Finals, and they got the supporting cast around him. Jamie Downs, Mike Conley is that true point guard. Gobert down low. Karl Towns. Go to the bench. Naz Reid. Slow mo. Kyle Anderson. Nick Alexander Walker. So they got a very deep bench. And then one thing Charles Barkley brought up inside the NBA, the clip I saw, he called on the Denver to pay DeAndre Jordan more. Now, I don't know if they're going to do that or not, but I think it's something to explore if they're going to have these, they're going to play against Towns and Gobert down low. But I don't think you guys think, if you're Denver, you guys think you got you to the dance. And DeAndre Jordan is not, I don't think he's going to be that different in this series. That's the idea to think about what Charles Barkley said, but then you kind of look at it as like, okay, he's all right defensively. Yeah, he might help you out, but offensively, you might be playing 4-on-5. So Let me try to get D-Law back on. Hopefully the weather in Pittsburgh is a little bit better. Let's see. Let's try one more time. If not, I got to just ride solo for the rest of the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our fingers crossed. All right, so I guess the referee issue is still going on there. So, but to kind of put a bow on this, like Marcus said, this is going to be a fun series between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Yeah, it's going to be a fun series. And it's going to be really interesting to see if, how different counters Anthony Edwards all series. I think that's going to be the main thing. Like how Mike Malone's going to adjust to Anthony Edwards all series. Can he slow him down? That's going to be the main focus of this series. I think, like Mark said, it should be fun to watch. How they go about it. So, before I talk about the Lakers, well, take it back. Before I talk about the Lakers, yes, I want to talk to y'all all about Planet Jerky. If y'all go to planetjerky.org, they got a host of beautiful flavors on the website. And with the playoffs in full swing, why not get you order in right now? Go to planetjerky.org, order you like mango habanero. The price is always good and get shipped out to your house in a quality time. So if you're a Boston Celtic fan, Cleveland Cavalier fan, or you like the teams in LA, the Clippers and Lakers, and just like watching good basketball, order your jerky. Get it shipped to your house and enjoy the playoffs in peace. But do check out planetjerky.org for all your beautiful jerky needs. The best jerky out there in the planet, and even in the galaxy. Do check out planetjerky.org. Before I get to the Lakers, I want to talk about the Clippers, Mavs, and I think, from what I saw on Friday, excuse me, not Friday, yeah, Friday, excuse me, I see that Luka and Kyrie are probably one of the best two tandems in the NBA. When nobody else for the Mavs were kind of like pulling their weight. Jerry Jones did play fine defensively. I will give him that. I mean, he offensive rebound the ball good down the stretch. But those two dudes, they can carry the load. Now, granted, Lucas shot 1 for 10 that Friday night game for a 3-point land. That ain't really good. But those two dudes, damn, they fun to watch. And, them and OKC, that's going to be an interesting matchup. And OKC got a lot of young dudes they could throw at Luka and Kyrie. And I think for the key thing for me, for Dallas, for that next round, if they want to win that series, is the down low matchup. Chet Holmgren is pretty damn good. I think we all can agree with that. And, if Dallas going to win the series, Gafford, PJ Washington, Derek Lively got paid the best down low. They got to check Holmgren. They got to make him work. Use that size. Use his size. To his disadvantage because he's still skinny and frail, all that stuff. And watching that Pelican series and stuff like that, you saw at times when they went down on the Valanciunas, he used that big size to kind of push Valanciunas. Valanciunas used his size to push Holmgren down low easily. And I think Dallas, not all the time, not force feed these guys like Lively, Gafford, whatever, but punching in down on this one, get some post moves out of those guys and kind of get Holmgren in foul trouble, just enough that he's not really affecting the game. I think if Dallas can do that, so often get Holmgren in foul trouble and take him out of the flow of the game, I think that things could work considerably well for them. Luka and Kyrie, like Drewski brought up in the chat, Luka and Kyrie gonna do their own damn. They're gonna do their thing. Luka's got, his shooting percentage got to be better, but I think they're gonna do their damn thing. I just like the other role players, they got to be up to the plate because OKC's role players, sometimes you don't see it. You look at the box score point wise, but you kind of see it. You kind of see it, in other aspects of the game. If I look at the OKC side of things, SGA is going to do his thing. Josh Giddey, he's a fine player to me, but sometimes he kind of like he's out there, but it's like sometimes you don't see his effect out there. You know what I'm saying? I think for Giddey, you gotta make his presence known, especially against Kyrie and Luka. He got to. If he doesn't, it doesn't affect those guys or slow their play down, whatever, or I can't get on those guys in foul trouble, then you're exerting more SGA's exerting more energy to kind of carry the load more. And I think they'll bode well for Kyrie and Luka in the long run. Maybe, maybe not. But Josh Giddey, he's got to have a fabulous series if OKC wants to get to the Western Conference Finals. And then I go back to down low. Chet Holmgren. I mean, he's got to play smart. Gafford, Lively are bigger dudes than him. Can he take those guys out the dribble multiple times? We'll see. Gafford averaged about like what 22 minutes in the previous series. So, if you take advantage of that, take advantage of Lively's. Well, hell, they're both inexperienced in the playoffs, but you take advantage, of Lively's kind of, inexperience. Granted, you got some inexperience of your own, but you get my point. And I think, Dance could swing in the OKC's favor. Who I got in this series, it's tough to say. The guys in the chat, Drewski and Mark, are saying, it could be a shootout in the series. Yeah, it's going to be. Mark is saying, it favors Dallas. Yeah, with Luka Kyrie, yeah. And I think, if the other guys, pull their weight per se, like PJ, like Derek, Josh Green, if those guys could pull their weight, for at least a couple games. I think, yeah, it could favor Dallas. But I don't know, something about OKC this year is something. It seems like they together, they're in a unit. You know, all these guys are young, they vibing in a sense. The coach, he's like a European coach, so I mean, he comes more of like a no nonsense attitude compared to American style coaches who kind of make these guys kind of like play more of a unit and kind of more about individualism to a degree. So I don't know who I got in this series. It's tough, but I'm going bold here. I'm going to go bold here. I'm going to OKC Thunder in this series in 6. And I think so much so, maybe, just maybe, if this series goes the way I think it does, it may, I just say may, it may propel SGA to his first MVP. Just maybe. I know Jokic may got it wrapped up, maybe, I don't know. But I think if they went out the series in 6, I think it probably took the favor for SGA for MVP. Just my opinion. I just put it out there. But let me before I get to the Laker thing, I know y'all wait for that. My thoughts on the Pat Bev situation and what he did in Indianapolis. Hey, I don't know who he was angry at, but him throwing the ball in the crowd, regardless who he's mad at, it was some sucker shit. It's straight up sucker shit that he did that. And I don't know what the compensation is going to be for the girl, the lady he hit, or young girl he hit. I'm pretty sure, there's gonna be something. But that was the sucker shit. And then not for only do it once, that's bad enough, and not hit your target. But to come around the second time trying to throw the ball again, like, come on, Pat, really, really. And then, like, here's my thing. Then you get to the locker room post game. All right, he's taking questions, whatever, all that stuff. One lady asked him a question, and he said, "Are you subscribed to my podcast?" And she said no, and said, "No, I don't want to talk to you." That was some more sucker shit. Now, we went from taking the focus off Pat Bev throwing the ball in the crowd, hitting a wrong person the first time. The second time, trying to throw the person he got mad at for young Cancun to get to this part in the locker room, and everybody's mad at Pat because he didn't talk to the lady. And let me make sure I had this lady's name right. Who was this? I forgot who was this lady. I forgot the lady's name. I'm trying to pull it. Oh, Melinda Adams. Now, this is the first time I ever heard of Melinda Adams. I guess she's been in the industry for a good 40 years. She's a producer for ESPN. I guess she went to Auburn. Ugh. But anyways, I live in Alabama, so y'all hear that. I'm an Alabama fan. Whatever. I guess she's trying to ask a question, get a question in and stuff like that. Pat blew her off, and rightfully so. Everybody, should check him. But I think this is sometimes when folks in the media kind of go overboard, and sometimes they're in the crusades with folks. And I know this. I'm pretty sure this lady's nice, all this stuff. But the tweets I saw and stuff like that saying, "How dare Pat do that?" Blah blah blah. Call him a dick, yes, but don't go overboard just because he didn't ask a question. Like, don't. I see people saying, she Mother Teresa reincarnated. Like, well, let's call Pat a dick for what he did, but don't go overboard with the serenade of this lady. Because let's be real, Pat will apologize. Probably already did apologize to this lady by now, and he'll be back on ESPN Airways because Pat's a controversial person, and one thing in the media they like is controversial people. So there's that. And by the way, the Bucks lost in the first round again. So there's that. Once again. But I only got 15 minutes left in the show. And I kind of reserved this last 15 minutes off for the Lakers. The Lakers lost the 5 games to the Nuggets. And, kind of just watching that series, they really didn't get beat down at all. They kind of in these games. Hell, most of the time they led most of these games. But I just can't, sometimes you go against a team that you can't beat. It's kind of like the old saying, if you play somebody against X amount of times, if you beat them once, that analogy. And that's what it is. Like the past couple years in the playoffs, play these guys 8 times. I'll take it back. 9 times, you only beat them once. So, that happened. They lose. And then, with the Lakers, is always what happens afterwards with this squad. And you start hearing stories come out that Ham would be fired by the end of the week or this week or something like that. And I thought, the reports say maybe fired. I was like, here's my thing with him. His first year, he took that squad to the Western Conference Finals. Now, a lot of luck happened with that. We talked about it on this show. They win the playing game. They beat the Grizzlies in the first round. Now, granted, we're talking about a Grizzly team that had a lot of issues going on with this squad, with Dylan Brooks, John Morant mainly. And they took advantage of that. And then they played the Golden State Warriors, which we all know they've been on a decline. Took advantage of that. The Draymond incident, all that type of stuff. Klay Thompson ain't really been himself. Jordan Poole wasn't himself. All those things kind of really imploded there. Then you get to the Nuggets, and he's kind of went to a buzzsaw right there. Not say buzzsaw, but you get my point. Like a real cohesive unit. And then the Nuggets swept them, and it swept the Heat in the finals. And we discussing the show. Okay, you made the moves for guys like D'Angelo Russell, who I thought deserved a second chance with the Lakers, in my opinion. And then you trade for Rui Hachimura. Stuff and guys like that. And then I was like, okay, you come into next season, let things grow a little bit. Okay, just let things grow a little bit. Rui be back, D'Angelo will be back in the system, Jared Vanderbilt, same thing. You added like guys like Gabe Vincent, Torian Prince, Jackson Hayes. I was like, okay, okay. On paper, looking pretty good. And then the season happened, and they won the in-season tournament, and then they kind of took a slide right there for a little bit. And I think that slide right there kind of didn't really help their favor for the playoff seeding. If they were at least like half-assed during that stretch after the play-in tournament, I think we're probably looking at a different outlook for this Lakers team. Maybe, maybe not. But we kind of saw they kind of got to the 7th seed at the last point of the season. And you kind of think if that slide didn't happen after the play-in tournament, could their seeding be a little bit different, and we could be talking a different type of Laker team? I don't know. But, AD played most of the year. LeBron played most of the year. I mean, the injuries happened to Gabe Vincent. Jared Vanderbilt got hurt again with his foot, and he did that just on a freak. I won't say freak play, but he stole the ball against Boston, and the foot just got hurt again. And he never came back. Christian Wood, he hurt his knee. When, I don't know, but he was out for the rest of the year. So, I had all that going on. And yes, you can contribute to Darvin Ham's coaching at times. And Marcus brought up to the point in the chat earlier. Let's see. That should have been fired. No, I think you at least give him another year. Give him another year, see how it goes. If it don't work out, whatever. But I just think for the chat, you got too many other good teams right now. Minnesota's good. Denver's good. Dallas is good. OKC's good. If Zion can stay healthy, the Pelicans could be a scary matchup, but that's ifs and buts with that right there. Phoenix, I really don't know about Phoenix. They seem like they got buyer's remorse for Bradley Beal. But I just think, to Marcus' point, I think they should have brought back another year. And he also says, who do you replace him with? And if you replace him, this hire has got to be the hire for the long haul or just for the last year for LeBron. And that's the thing that been kicking the Lakers' ass for the past couple of years. When they hired Luke Walton, I thought that would be a good hire for the young core. The young core, I'm talking about like Ingram, Russell, Lonzo, and Kuzma, Josh Hart, all those guys there. But when LeBron decided to come out to LA, it kind of really accelerated things And I think, LeBron needs a different type of coach, besides a young guy trying to find his way. Now, of course, Luke Walton got a second chance to Sacramento, and that didn't go well. So, and I always said Luke Walton should be better as a college coach, in my opinion. But we'll see he made that leap here soon, not down the line. But then, you had that happen. Then you hire Frank Vogel, and he carried the team to the championship. Granted, 2020 was a hot mess. We all know that. And then Frank got let go. And I think Frank got let go too early because the Lakers had a lot of issues going on. And now you bring in Darvin Ham, and he took this team to a West Conference Finals and back-to-back playoffs, basically. And just look, who should they hire? I don't know. To Marcus point, I don't know who the hell they look at. There's stories about Ty Lue. I think the Clippers going to tie up Ty Lue. There's stories about Jason Kidd. Why the fuck would Jason Kidd leave Luka Doncic? If not by choice. Sorry for my language, but if I got like one of the better players in the world and one of the better organizations, and if Drewski still listening, I don't know how the population is and traffic, all that stuff. But one of the better cities to live in America, where people flock to, and you do a lot of stuff. My friends tell me this, but a lot of stuff you can do, and living taxes, making millions of dollars, and you pay no state tax, stuff like that. Why the hell would I want to leave that? It's like the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm trying to wrap this up. It's like the Minnesota Timberwolves owner backing out his sale because he saw what Anthony Edwards is slowly becoming. Like, ooh, I don't want to sell to Alex Rodriguez and his friend. Anthony Edwards kind of coming in nice. So if you're just a kid, let's not be let go. Why don't we leave Luka Doncic? So we got that story right there. Then JJ Redick. If I'm JJ, my first coaching job is not going to be the LA Lakers. Unless it's like the LA Lakers, no superstar stuff like that, I can start things from scratch, maybe. But that ain't my first coach job. If the Hornets are really serious considering JJ Redick, I think JJ Redick should consider going to Charlotte. Y'all may call me crazy in the chat, but if he's interested in a coaching job, then the Hornets should be the way to go. Or the Wizards. Like I said, you start from scratch from those two places. I don't know where the Lakers go. I think it shouldn't stop with Darvin Ham. I think Robert Lincoln should be showing the door too, because some of the things he has done have been kind of questionable. Some of the stories that kind of been leaking out that he kind of went opposite things where he should have been suggested. Going back to the draft, the Bus Brothers that do the scouting stuff for the Lakers and stuff like that, they suggested to draft Cam Whitmore at that late team pick. Instead, he drafted Jalen Hood-Schifino, and Hood-Schifino barely played for the Lakers. Played more in the G League, but didn't play for the main roster that much. And you had Cam Whitmore sitting there, and we kind of see like bits and pieces of what Cam Whitmore could be and what he could potentially be down the line. So I don't know who the Lakers are going to hire. I don't know what the Lakers are going to do. I don't know what LeBron's going to do. His son got invited to the draft combine in Chicago, whether it's deserving or not. But just it's like a lot of wait and see with the Lakers. And as a fan of this team for years, at one point you kind of had our identity and focus for a good few years. But as much I kind of going to appreciate LeBron, this is kind of one of the things I dislike about LeBron. It seems like a lot of mess and chaos each year. Now, I'm not saying Kobe and Shaq had that chaos and stuff like that, mess and chaos, but you had a straight line right there. I'm not saying Magic, Kareem, all those guys had mess and chaos, but you had a straight line right there. And with LeBron in the fold, it's always like a year to year thing. I mean, yes, you treat the NBA and stuff like that like a 1 year to year thing to make adjustments, but you kind of get my point with LeBron. So we'll see. We'll see what the Lakers do. I think they should be careful who they coach or who they hire as a coach. Hire a veteran if you have to. And one more thing I'll defend Darvin Ham in this. It kind of goes along with Adrian Griffin. I hope these guys get hired elsewhere. I hope these guys get interviews with the Hornets or Wizards. And I hope they get real considerations. Because going to those situations, kind of sucks. But I hope they bounce back on their feet. But this has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. I wish I had D-Lock on the show with us tonight. But, I guess the weather in Pittsburgh kind of took over. But do follow him on Twitter /X and also on Instagram at black-813. That's black-813. Also do follow our show's page at Twitter as FastBreakIESR. That's FastBreakIESR. Do follow iSportsRadio.com and iSportsRadio on all your social media feeds. Do follow me on Twitter at Spawn4288. That's Spawn4288. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.